We are live. Hello and welcome. We're just audio here. I don't want you to be distracted by anything else other than the tuning energy. And this is also going to be broadcast on my personal Facebook page. And so, hello everyone who's joining. Welcome, welcome. Let's see if we can give everyone a minute here to join in. I have everyone muted upon entry so that we can eliminate any feedback in the replay. So if you are unmuting yourself, I may just go ahead and mute you. Don't mean to be rude. It's just to preserve the integrity of the recording. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming here on this Tuesday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Happy to be here. Yes, thank you. Happy to be here with you. I'm very excited to share this with you. Give everybody just a minute to kind of join on here and join in. So let's see if I can share this to my other page, because that would be really fun if I could do that. So yes, I am live on Facebook. Cool, there I am. And it may not let me, yeah, it doesn't let me share to another page, but that's okay. I can do that later. So this is being recorded. Yep, there's no video. There's no video. We are not being distracted by anything so that we can fully deepen into all of the wonderful tones and frequencies we are going to be privy to today. So I don't want you distracted. So full disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. This is not an attempt to diagnose or treat anyone with chronic, ongoing symptoms, diseases, etc. And so, yep, I know, Christine, we're not doing video. We are just audio here today. So you can just completely relax and just listen. You don't have to worry about video. The other thing that I want to say, other than the full disclaimer that this is not a medical treatment, I'm not a doctor or a therapist. This is for energy healing purposes only, and really for relaxing, toning the body through the vagus nerve, okay? Also, do not be driving. If you are driving, please, please, please come back and listen to this later. If you are not on my email list already, this replay will go out tonight to everyone who's on my email list. I only have one. I don't do funnels or tripwires or stuff like that. I have one email list. So if you're on that, anything I ever record in terms of an energy healing, etc., activation, it goes out to my email list that day usually. So that will go out tonight and you can listen to it later. It's also going to be up on my YouTube channel, Catherine Massell. You can find me on YouTube, easy peasy. You can subscribe to that and get notifications. So every time I do upload a new energy healing or activation, you'll be notified. You'll make sure to get that. So I'm not a doctor. Please don't drive. Are we good with that? The other thing is, let me go back to my Zoom page. Hi, Wingfield. Hello, hello. I have some friends with me here today. Other than you all, I have my stone people friends. So I am working with 2 monatomic Andaran crystals. And monatomic Andaran crystals are pretty potent helpers with energy because they help us with space-time manipulation. Okay. Monatomic Andaran crystals have a high atomic spin rate. That means they can speed up or slow down frequencies of light. What this does is it helps the body assimilate healing or removing or upgrading energy. And it does so with the timeline of your highest and best divine timing for release or upgrading into a higher threshold of energy. So they have their own intelligence. These create a 0 point energy. They act as like a superconductor. So they create a 0 point in polarizing energies that could pull you into spiritual, physical, mental, or emotional crisis. Because sometimes when you feel these sound healing frequencies, even though these are gentle and non-invasive, if you have something that's ready and ripe for healing, it's going to come up. And so to kind of ease the blow, to kind of soften you into that, what these monatomic Andaran crystals do is they create a toric field, a tube torus energy. That is a self-circulating, self-generating energy that comes from the assemblage point, which is your heart, because that is the point in your body that is the meeting point in your physical being of higher ascended consciousness, the command center of ascended consciousness. And it generates a field out from there above the head, below the feet, and creates a field that is very protective and very loving. And it allows energies to come in as your body is ready to assimilate them, so that you don't go into any of the physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual crisis. And so this is activated for the group, and everyone here that's privy to the live here right now or the replay later is going to receive the benefits of this. So this is something I call the time release grid, and I work with this now in all of my energy healings and all of my activations. One acts as the father crystal, the masculine, and I place that at the top of your head or the top of the group. And the feminine crystal, the mother crystal, is placed at the bottoms of the feet. Okay, so you can just imagine them. The father crystal is a big, vibrant blue, and the mother crystal is this kind of light purplish white. And she's much smaller than the father crystal, because the masculine crystal is a little bit of a showboat, so he's got to be big. So they are here for us. And you don't need to know much more about monatomic Andaran crystals, because that's not what this live is about. This live is about your vagus nerve and toning and tuning up the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve, just a quick little background and setup for what the vagus nerve is. This is the probably most unsung hero of the cranial nerves. A lot of people, now that we have the emergence of polyvagal theory and we have great books starting to be written about this, we have a lot of somatic experts starting to understand and work with this nerve more. It is the 10th of 12 cranial nerves. And this nerve is made up of two vagal nerves. Okay, one is on the left side of the body, one is the right, and this is something that these contain about 75% of your parasympathetic nervous system's nerve fibers. Okay, and what these do is they send information between your brain, your heart, and your digestive system. So we're starting to understand that if there are disruptions to the vagus nerve and its functioning, it's not stimulated properly, it is sluggish or under functioning, or it's overstimulated, it can cause all kinds of problems with digestion, with your heart rate, with blood pressure, respiration or your breathing, immune system response, your mood, mucus and saliva production, meaning your body's ability to effectively remove toxins through the mucus and saliva, skin and muscle sensations. It can affect speech, it can affect taste, it can even affect urine output, okay? And your parasympathetic system, your nervous system, is responsible for the rest and digest functions, while your sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight response. And so the vagal tone affects how well your parasympathetic nervous system is functioning, meaning the rest or digest functions, okay? And the vagus nerve, since they're the longest cranial nerve, and vagus means wandering in Latin, so it is the wandering nerve, it is the longest cranial nerve running from your brain all the way down to your large intestine. Your left vagus nerve travels down the left side of the body, the right vagus nerve travels down the right side of your body. So these take a long winding course through the body, a lot of dendritic branches. They exit from the medulla oblongata in the brain, in the lower brainstem, and then these nerves pass through or connect with your neck, the carotid artery, and the jugular vein, the chest, the heart, and the lungs, and the abdomen and digestive tract. So if you are reflecting now on some of the things that might feel ill at ease in your body, things that feel out of balance, things that are under functioning or over functioning in your body, these are the exact areas I'm inviting you to focus on during this healing. And now We've talked about the vagus nerve. You can do your own research on the vagus nerve, but I'm not going to go in too much about the functioning. That's enough to know for the purpose of this exploration and healing here. Do your own research on the vagus nerve. There's incredible amounts of information. You can go on YouTube. You can get the book on polyvagal theory, which I've forgotten the name of the author now, but if you go into Amazon books and punch in polyvagal theory, his name will come up. And you can learn more on your own time about the vagus nerve and all of its amazing functions in the body. So for a moment, let's focus on sound healing. Sound healing is an incredibly potent form of healing because it works very, very quickly. So this healing and activation is not going to be very long today. It doesn't need to be. And even though we're going to be working with 5 different tuning forks here today, and I'll go through them each one and tell you what the frequencies are and why I'm using them. Each one of these has a special function for doing basically, there's a common denominator to all tuning forks, and that is this. They act as reflectors. The tuning forks don't do the healing necessarily, okay? Through the frequency intoned when the tuning fork is struck, it acts as a reflector, mirroring back to the body where there is imbalance, where there is incoherence, meaning there's no harmony in the field, okay, of the body. The body is constantly striving for homeostasis, which is balance. And in order to do that, under-functioning parts of the body or the field will be corrected, overcorrected by other parts of the body that are functioning very well. And so this creates imbalance, right? Because the over-functioning parts aren't allowed to do their part well in an optimized way, and the under-functioning parts aren't allowed to do their functions optimally. So when we have imbalance, that'll be reflected back to the sound of the frequency in the fork. Those of us who are really clairaudient, and even not, anybody can learn how to do this. You can pick up the frequency fluctuations in the fork when it's being struck to say, oh, okay, this is off. This isn't in harmony. I'm getting an incoherent or dissonant note. Something is out of accord, in other words. And then we keep striking the fork until we get that harmony, until we get rid of that dissonance. And we start to feel a more cohesive, coherent tone when we aim it or have the intention around that area. So I invite you to use this opportunity today to focus on a part of the body that you would like some balance. You would like to achieve maybe some level of greater harmony in the body. Maybe it's in your stomach. Maybe you've got digestive issues. Maybe you've got gastrointestinal problems. Maybe you've got some anxiety, okay? I'm going to encourage you to make a couple sounds as well, because part of the sound healing that I like to do means that we're not just hearing the forks doing their intoning. You are like a giant tuning fork. You are frequency and vibration. You are photoelectric, meaning you are light and sound. You are of that energy. And so when we release sound, what we're really releasing are things that can cause backup or blockages or resistance in the body that can end up as dis-ease, that can end up as stress, that can end up as inflammation in the body. A lot of the stuck energy that can emanate as sound, when it stays stuck, it shows up as inflammation in the body. So any kind of itis or things like even psoriasis, skin rashes, etc. So if you have things like that you want to focus on, maybe you have hypotension or you have hypertension, maybe you have abdominal pain. You're experiencing, excuse me, some type of acid reflux. Maybe you have some hoarseness that you've been experiencing, maybe unexplained weight loss. You have headaches. Maybe you're feeling some kind of PTSD. All of these things you can have some relief provided for you here, but it is up to you to create that intention and that focus for the purpose of this healing and activation here today, okay? I also invite you and insist, actually, that you have some water. Whenever we do sound healing, we are really kind of burning through energy on a cellular level. The energy moves very, very quickly, and the body, when hydrated, can take in healing energy and self-correct. It can auto-correct itself very, very quickly if it's hydrated. Okay, so the other bonus is your water is going to receive a charge. It's going to receive a charging and a blessing, because sound waves travel 4 times faster through water than in air. So anytime sound waves reach a dense energy, it travels very fast. So it travels very fast through the body because we are 60 to 70% water. And a glass of water will take on these energies very, very quickly. And you'll have beautiful, charged, blessed water that you'll notice. And if you have water with you now, I invite you to take a taste of it right now. Get a baseline kind of foundation taste for where your water is at. And a nice full glass of water. And if you want to take a minute to do that, go do that now. Please, please, please have water. And if you don't, or you can't get water, make sure you grab some right after this healing, because you're going to need it. Help the body out. Hydration is pure love for the body. And then when we're done, have some of your water and notice the difference. Okay. I love to do that. So we're working with 5 different tuning forks here today. And I finally fixed my Zoom settings so that you can hear the tones of the forks. Hi, Yira. So the first one we're going to work with is actually something called the sonic slider. And it is a fork that is a weighted fork. Weighted forks are designed to be used on the body, physically on the body, because you can feel the vibration in the body. And I have a little boot, because otherwise the bottoms of tuning forks can be really pointy and pokey. So I have a boot that I put on the bottom of my sonic slider tuning fork, tuned to 93.96 hertz. This is the 12th octave of the Schumann resonance. So we start with this one and we finish with this one, even though you won't be able to hear it. Some of you are very clairaudient and can really pick up really low tones. You might be able to pick up some of the vibration of it, but you'll feel it. So even if you can't hear all these forks, you'll feel them. Trust me on that. So I'm going to strike this one. And I strike all my tuning forks on a Canadian hockey puck because you get a strong, clear tone with that, because it's made of vulcanized rubber with a hollow center. So you get a nice, clear strike and strong strike with the tuning fork if you're using a Canadian hockey puck. So those of you who don't know how to use tuning forks, this is obviously a little taste of the program I'm going to be starting on June 12th. It's going to be 2 weeks over 6 days, called Tuning the Sonic Anatomy. We're going to work with 6 systems of the body, including the nervous system, which we're paying a little attention to today via the vagus nerve, but the circulatory, the digestive, the skeletal, the endocrine, and the immune. Okay, I think did I name all 6? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Am I forgetting any? So we're going to be working with them over 6 days total. And I'm going to be doing a little bonus class for those of you who want to be able to pick out a tuning fork for yourself. You don't need a whole stack or storage house of tuning forks. You can have a couple workhorse forks that can do great work on your body. And I'm going to go through recommendations on that. It's going to be a little bonus class after those 6 days are over. And how to choose them based on what you want to do with them. What kind of healing and clearing do you want to initiate? Do you want to use them on other people? What's the difference between weighted and unweighted forks? How best to strike them and intone them? And I'm also, in addition to giving this little class on how to pick and choose tuning forks, how to pick one out for yourself, how to use them, I'm going to be giving away one of the forks I'm using today, which is tuned to 528 hertz, which brings a lot of coherence in the body. I call it my polishing fork. So after I do the work of, pulling things out and kind of doing releasing in the body, 528 hertz really helps to kind of polish and smooth everything out, smooth out all those rough edges. So you leave feeling squeaky clean. You feel really light. You feel like you're walking on a cloud. A lot of you will walk away today feeling like that. So the bonus of this session is not only are we doing some kind of scouring to get things out of your field that are ready to go or ready to release. But you're going to be polished up. You're going to be smooth, shiny, and bright and luminous and full of vitality when you leave, because that's how you feel after you do sound healing. So I'm going to be giving away a 528 hertz fork as part of this program. It's going to be a little giveaway. I don't know what kind of little contest I'm going to run, but it'll be fun because I want this to be fun. So that starts June 12th. I'll have the link in here for those of you who want to join us. I'm going to put it in the Facebook group so you can see. So I'm going to start right now with toning 93.96 hertz. Okay. Again, you may not hear it, but you'll feel it. Okay, ready? So have a sip of water if you haven't already. Hopefully you got your water. Let's start with some hydration. I'd like you to be seated with your feet flat on the floor. If you really need to lay down, that's okay. Some of you might feel like these energies are kind of big and you may want to lay down, but I prefer you're seated with your feet flat on the ground, especially because we're going to start off and end with grounding. Sitting up straight in your chair. Undistracted, definitely not driving. Please do not drive, okay? And go ahead and close your eyes and just get calm and present and relaxed. I'm going to get you really centered and present as well. So here we go. And you should feel that it's kind of like a low hum, and it's deep, deep, deep in your chest center, almost down to the solar plexus. Kind of deep and low. You should just feel it. Even if you can't hear it, you'll still feel it, trust me. Yeah, so we're getting you nice and grounded here. I want you to feel as I strike this tuning fork again, this energy kind of rooting in the bottom of your heart space and taking you right down into the center of the earth. Deeply grounding you, bringing into presence, bringing you into love of this moment. Bringing you into a sense of love for yourself. You being here right now is saying, hey body, I love you. I want you to be in more harmony. You carry me through this life so well. I want you to be in optimal functioning. And that's why we're here today. It's like you being here is like saying that to your body, and your body's like, yes. All right, one more to get us nice and grounded again. Imagine this grounding cord coming just from the lower part of the center of the chest and taking you right down in this column, anchoring you into the heart of the earth, into the heart of all earthly creation, into that iron crystalline core. And it's like a deep, heavy, beautiful feeling. It's like being under a weighted blanket or a weighted comforter that's just so yummy to feel, right? Makes you feel very loved. Yeah. All right, so now we're going to move through to the next highest frequency. And this one is 144 hertz. And I love working with 144 hertz because this is where we begin kind of the scouring energy. So it's gonna, through the reflection of the fork, it mirrors back to the body where there is disharmony, where there is discord, dissonance. You don't have a coherent harmonic frequency or tone. We all have a home frequency. We all have a home tone. And so what I'm hearing when the sound of the fork reflects back to me, what's going on with all of you guys, I may just tune into some things and call it out. And it's just to put your mindful awareness on a certain part of the body and just send it love, send it some breath, right? Attention, loving attention is what you want to send it when I do that. And it's going to bring the harmonic up the more we strike this fork, because what it does when it reflects to the body through biofeedback, because your body is an incredible mechanism for biofeedback. It will self-correct. If it's shown exactly where the imbalance is, the body will take its own innate intelligence and use that to correct the imbalance. So here we go with 144 hertz. And this one, sometimes when people hear it, they're like, ooh, too big. I encourage you to just stick with it. Breathe, go back to your center, okay? And let me know if you can hear these. I fixed my Zoom so that I could pick up the sounds of these forks. Just notice what you feel with that one. Sometimes it'll bring stuff that's ready to go right up at the surface there, right at that liminal level of awareness. It'll bring it right up and you'll be like, ooh, I don't want to see that. Just breathe. Just breathe, stick with it. If you're aware of it, that means it's ready to go. That means that it's time for you to surrender something, to be free of it. And when we do that, we create space, don't we? We create space. And for all the things that we're asking for, we want to, we aspire to have, be, or do in this life, it requires space in order to have that, yes? So what we're doing here right now is creating that. So let it go. Surrender it. It wouldn't be showing itself to you, making itself aware to you if you weren't ready to release it. Okay? So just take a deep breath in and send a wave of energy down through the body. Go, ha, ha. I want you to visibly sound it. Who cares who hears you? Visibly sound it out. Just ha on the exhale and send that energy down into the earth. Let Mama Earth transmute that. Oh, yeah. So I'm feeling a lot of that up at the head. You feel that low hum jante on the first one. I hear them all very clear, Lori says. Okay. Even if it feels icky, sticky, gooey, like plasma-y, ectoplasma-y stuff, and it's got like density to it, all the more reason to just let it go. And you can send it down and deep inhale, and then as you exhale, send that icky, gooey, yucky stuff down through the body. Let it go. Release it. Surrender it. Ask Mother Earth to transmute it. I'm feeling a lot of energy up around the head. So some of you've got stuff going on behind the eyes. That might be from tears. Some of you have tears, and so that creates strain behind our little eyeballs, right? So just go ahead and just imagine this sound, because I can hear it in the fork, that kind of wobbly, kind of wonky energy. And for a lot of you, it's behind the temples, behind the eyes. Remember to exhale and just send it down. Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Do a couple more with the 144 because we're going to send it down. And in the throat, I want you to go ahead, because we're going to direct it in the throat here, and I'm hearing a lot of pinched, tight energy, like you're pinching off what you want to say. So I want you to open up that throat. Again, I want you to imagine your body as one giant tuning fork, because it is. And I want you to make the sound on this next strike. Ra. Okay, sing it, intone it. Ra. And the sound of your own voice, especially with humming, that brings better vagal tone to the body. Humming does that. It stimulates in a healthy way the vagus nerve to optimize its functioning. Throat, yes, getting phlegmy, and that's okay. It's stuff that's ready to go. Remember, the vagus nerve is powerful in helping to stimulate mucus. So mucus carries out toxins in the body that are ready to go. It's one of the body's incredible mechanisms for purifying your field. So anything that's up in the throat, if you need to clear your throat, if you need to go to the bathroom and spit something out, go ahead and do it. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. All right, I'm hearing a little bit brighter tone in the 144 hertz. So the scouring is working. We're going to continue to bring it down. We're not going to linger on any one part of the body for too long, because we want to follow the path of the cranial nerves, and they go down into the intestines, right? Go down into the large intestine. So I'm definitely feeling it around. Yeah, there's some grief in the lungs there. Okay, so those branches of the vagus nerve around the lungs, I can feel where they're kind of twinged with old grief. I'm hearing old alliances that got broken, whether you broke them off or someone else did, and we will grieve for that. We'll grieve for lost relationships. We'll grieve for people who have left us, whether they've left the earthly plane and, uh, transitioned, or they've left our lives for one reason or another. A lot of our identity gets rolled up in the people we bring into our lives for any number of reasons. And when they go, sometimes they take a piece of us with them, but let's call those pieces back, okay? And let's get rid of that grief in the lungs. Call it back. Call all your power, all your energy back. Ooh. Okay, the second I said that, I just felt like a foomp. Just like you guys turned on your inner vacuum and pulled all your energy back into your body. That was kind of cool. All right, one more of these. I'm going to focus on bringing it down into the belly and kind of any digestive stuff that's going on, helping the vagus nerve be able to kind of balance around the GI, the upper GI. Yeah, and then taking it down into the abdomen as well, and just kind of clearing and toning. Imagine this going into the bowl of the belly and kind of going in a counterclockwise motion in the belly, kind of sweeping through, vacuuming through in a counterclockwise motion in an energy of removal. When we imagine things moving counterclockwise, it can be a removing energy, releasing. So imagine like a sweeping, like scrubbing bubbles, if you remember that like cartoon commercial, kind of sweeping the bowl of the belly and clearing out any bacteria that's not supposed to be there, any parasites that are not supposed to be there. Yeah. All right, that's a lot brighter and clearer now. That's lovely. So thanks for sticking with me. I know 144 hertz can be a little jarring at first. When you first hear it, you're like, ew, that's showing me things I do not want to see. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want to clear and release this stuff, okay? So we're going to move on now. This is scouring energy as well, but not as intense as 144. We're brightening the tone a little bit here. This is 174 hertz. And just notice what you feel with that one. As you create the intention to be really hyper aware, really focused in the present moment, as you focus on the breath, where does this tone take you in the body? Just let it intuitively guide you. And, with each move up the tonal scale, each higher frequency that we intone with the forks, it's like making room for that higher frequency to come in. So the lower frequency forks, I call them the kind of workhorse forks, because they do the scouring, they do the clearing, they do the deep heavy work, especially in the lower chakras where we're holding a lot of stuff around identity, not feeling safe or secure in this body or on this planet. So they're the workhorse energies, anything that's below around 396 hertz. And when we go higher, these forks are amazing for creating that room for us to be more available for the higher frequency activations, which takes us up with a much more grounded and clear and purified energy into the higher chakras, past the bridge of the heart, and allows us to step into higher levels of intuitive awareness, feeling more connected to our higher self. It's not that we're ever not connected to our higher self, but that those pathways of communication might be murky. They might not be very clear or pure. And we kind of have the lower chakras to thank for that, because that's where we kind of hold on to all of the earthly things that keep us bogged down into density, feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling worthy, feeling love for ourselves, because that's where all love begins, love for ourselves. And wherever might, be an inhibiting factor for why we can't do that, that's all lower chakra stuff, okay? So, we can't get at the higher chakras and have a pure, clear, optimized tone with all of those chakras unless we're doing the dirty work down in the lower chakras. So just notice how you feel with this one. You know, what's coming up as you focus on parts of the body? Where are you feeling into? What feels like it? Oh, this could use a little bit. Ooh, yeah, that was a strong, bright one. So well done, you guys, because I can hear it in the fork where you're really going along with this journey. I'm not hearing any resistance from any of you. Like you're all like, no, I need this. I know I need this. I'm here for it. 100% available for it. So congratulations and well done on that because I'm hearing very, very little resistance in the fork. Yeah. And you might be able to hear this. Okay, so I'm hearing right behind the ears. So we have an acupressure point. So in that kind of jutting out part at the beginning of the occipital ridge, right below or behind the ears. Okay, this is a vagus nerve pressure point. And you can rub on these pressure points with both fingers. I use the middle finger of both hands and I rub on both of these pressure points behind my ears. I'll do this every day when I'm in the shower, when I'm all good and soapy. So, you know, there's a nice amount of, so there's less friction. And I rub there 36 times. That's an acupressure point. And in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, it helps to healthily stimulate the vagus nerve. So you guys can do that too. So you don't have to do sound healing all the time. You can do that with your acupressure points. You know, it's really important for me because I love doing sound healing and I love sharing it with you all because it is so easy, so quick, and so powerful. I love elegant and simple solutions, and sound healing is an elegant and simple solution to not only my healing journey, my journey of, you know, upgrading into higher thresholds of energy, but yours too. And so what I like to do is empower you all to, you know, have these tools for yourself, empower you with knowledge so that, you know, when this healing is over, our time together is over, you've got tools that you can take away with you and continue your own healing, releasing, and upgrading journey into higher frequency energy. And, you know, that's why I want to empower you all with sharing this class in tuning the sonic anatomy, this bonus class where I'm going to teach you how to pick a fork. Why pick this frequency? What is it going to do? You don't have to get a huge arsenal of tuning forks. You can just get a few. And they can really do powerful, powerful things that are complementary to any other healing, any other modality that you explore as healing. It's complementary to that. Whether you do Reiki, whether you do any form of hands-on healing, whether you're doing Akashic record readings, it doesn't matter. It's complementary to all of it. All right, so we're really working through a lot of energy behind the ears. That's still kind of up there. It's in the throat. And so as I'm focused now on bringing this down into the heart and the lungs, which are, you know, interrelated, they're part of the same chakra energy. Because I picked up on it before with 144. As we direct this down into the heart and into the lungs, let's see what the fork is kind of telling us. All right, that's a lot stronger and brighter and clearer. And you'll feel that in the heart. Notice how you kind of felt a weight over there at the beginning, over the heart at the beginning here. That's kind of lessening now. It's kind of moving up. You might feel like as if it's right on the top of your dermis, right on top of that top layer of skin, and you can really feel it there. So with the next couple strikes, we're going to move that out. We're going to move that away. So whether you want to concentrate on this energy moving out and away, send it up into the stars, or you want to send it down into the earth, either way is fine. But ask, what's the lesson that is yet to be integrated here? What do I still need to know? What am I, you know, not willing to see? Where am I pretending something's not true? Where am I out of alignment with my truth? Yeah. And let's not forget the back of the heart. And, you know, we have ancestral pains and ancestral longings also that can be stimulated when we use sound healing forks in the back of the chakra. We have a lot of ancestral stuff there that maybe we might be holding on out of legacy. Maybe we knew, grandma or even grandpa to be really sad. Maybe they had a lot of hardship in their life. And sometimes out of a misplaced sense of allegiance or loyalty, we'll hold on to this for members of our ancestry, for members of, our family, people we share DNA with. And we don't have to do that. Believe me, they don't want us to do that. So anything that's there, I'm just feeling that for some of you, and it might be weird for me to say this and for you to hear it, but I can hear it in the people who are going to be watching the replay. So I'm going to do that. Focusing on the back of the heart. Just let it go. Just let it go. Surrender it. There's a kind of softening that happens here when we surrender, and that's the energy. It's not forcing or pushing anything out. It's actually a softness. It's very feminine. It's saying, you know what? Let me take that from you. Let me take that from you. You don't need it anymore. It's not serving you. It doesn't bring value to your life, and it really doesn't even bring meaning anymore. So let me take that from you. It's like a very loving, motherly gesture of this energy. Yeah, okay. Well done, guys. I can feel that. Oh, yeah. And I'm feeling that in the base of the spine. So for some of you listening here, and again, I'm hearing it for some of you who are going to be in the replay, this is lower back stuff. You're carrying the weight or a burden you no longer need to carry. You never really needed to carry it. But we can have a misplaced sense of allegiance. And that can also mean like we want to heal others, but we can't help anyone who isn't willing to help themselves. And so we can't carry that burden of where we think we can fix other people or solve their problems for them or help them to get into any level of higher emotional intelligence than they're willing to go. You can't do it. You can't do the healing for them. You can't do the releasing for them. You can't make a higher and better decision for them. And that's wasted energy that you could be using on yourself to make more peace, to make more room for being in peace with yourself and where you are, and accepting that you are a beautiful, luminous, vibrant, vital being. You are that. You are never not that. We just have an overlay of lots of shit over this lifetime that brings us into the illusion that we are anything but we're never all of that. Those are fleeting. Those are moments of time that are fleeting. They were never meant to be static or fixed or part of our eternal reality. The only thing that is eternal in your field is that you are light, you are solar, you are photoelectric, you are vibrant, you go on, you are eternal, and you are powerful. So feel how you're making room for all of that to come in. And this is stimulating the vagus nerve to be something in the body that is going to reflect back to you this truth, because you're entraining it. So through the law of entrainment, where you take a lower frequency energy or an energy that is not in vibrational accord with another higher one, what you're asking that lower energy to do, even with this fork, and as we move into these higher forks, you're entraining the lower energies to vibrate at a higher rate to match the master energy, if you want to call it that. And so your vagus nerve is getting that tutelage. It is getting that education right now. How cool is that? How cool are tuning forks? All right, and so we're going to bring this into the belly too. And so just kind of the last bit of scouring with the 174 before we move into a higher frequency. Just focus on the belly. And you might be feeling, I'm hearing nervous tension. Some of you have to do something you don't want to do. It sounds like having a conversation you don't want to have. You can do it. You've already toned the throat. You've released energy in the throat. Okay, so let's increase energy in the solar plexus and all the organs that are in or around or part of the domain of the solar plexus and the sacral. So all your intestines, the spleen and the pancreas, which have a lot to do with the mother, the liver, which has to do with the father. So we're going to do like a cleansing and scouring of all of that, especially where the dendritic branches of the vagus nerve are in or around those organs. Okay. So, sorry, I talk really fast because most of the time I'm just channeling. And so that's why I trip over my words or talk really fast because the information comes in so fast and I'm like, hey guys, slow down. I can only speak so fast. So let's bring it into the belly, all of the organs that are part of the domain of the sacral and the solar plexus. And let's brighten up, tune up, and tone all of these. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, so maybe things that you felt like you couldn't say or your fear of saying them too harshly. I'm hearing the liver, which tells me dad stuff, and I'm hearing the pancreas, which tells me mom stuff. Um, just noticing if there's things that are left unsaid, why are they left unsaid? Um, who modeled that behavior for you to like, you know, cut yourself down or cut yourself back or hold yourself back? And, you know, who made you feel like maybe you were too much, that you had too muchness? That's not you, that's them. That's their energy saying you're too much. There's nothing to do with you. You are who you are. Don't hold that back. Don't dull it down. Please don't dim your light. We need your light. So if you feel like you're saying too much, okay, where can you make it, you know, land in a different way so it's more accessible? Or if you feel like you're not saying enough, what are you really afraid of? Is there a rejection there? Have you been rejected for saying things? That has a lot to do with what's in the gut. I know that seems like the throat, but the throat and the gut have a strong tie. So, you know, we'll feel it in the gut first. And what we're willing to say starts in the gut because as we come up in that kind of rising Kundalini energy, as we go from the root chakra on up into the bridge, the heart chakra, and up into the higher chakras, what we're not willing to let go of or beliefs that we're holding on to in the lower chakras will dictate a lot of what will filter in or what we allow to filter in to the higher chakras. And when you have a regulated, educated vagus nerve, it will give you that feedback. It's okay to be you. You're not going to go into, you know, some tailspin. You're not going to disrupt all the processes in the body. Because remember, this has to do with the parasympathetic nervous system and the rest and digest functions. So feeling like you can rest, feeling like you can digest things, words said, actions endeavored, things that are part of your everyday waking reality, things you do, things you say. How well you're digesting who you are has a lot to do with the disruptions and distortions you feel in your upper GI, in your intestinal tract, any abdominal dis-ease or dysfunction, stuff in the gut, not having good bacteria in the gut, not being able to have a good immune response that's part of our gut brain. Okay, these things are connected. Everything's connected. There is no part of the human body that exists in a vacuum. It's all connected. And that goes outside of your body as well. All right, this is the last one with this fork, and then we're going to brighten everything up. And as we brighten everything up, I'm going to do less talking. Okay, less of my little ongoing commentary. I'm going to let the the forks speak for themselves. All right, so we're going to move into one of my favorite forks, 417. And I just want you to focus on a sweeping motion that goes from the top of the vagus nerve. So this is connected to the medulla oblongata and the brainstem and down into the large intestine. I want you to just notice like kind of just a sweeping energy of light with this fork going through the entirety of the vagus nerve and both branches on the left and the right side of the body as you hear this frequency of 417 hertz. Ready? Here we go. Just kind of sweep it through. And you can take this all the way down to your root chakra if you like. And if you feel inspired to take it down through the legs and the soles of the feet and even down into the earth star chakra, go ahead and do that. Just kind of let the energy kind of dictate where it wants to go. And Know that it has its own intelligence. Just kind of surrender to where the energy is leading you. But starting in that sweeping energy, you know, at the top of the vagus nerve, down both sides of the body through the left and right branches, and deep, deep into the belly, maybe even the base of the spine too, right? And you might not be able to pick it up on my microphone here on Zoom or on Facebook, but it is a very long sustain, meaning the vibration goes for quite a long time. And that is also indicative of nice, clean, purified energy. And it's a really bright, pure, clear tone. It's lovely. Well done, everyone. I mean, really. Yeah. And just one more with the 417. We're going to move to 528. Oh, that is yummy. So just go ahead and take a deep breath here. I want you to do something before we move into 528 hertz. I want you to take a sip of water after you take a deep breath in and out. And you can go ahead and notice, if you will, the change in the flavor of your water. Oh, that's delicious. Num, 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 num. And just notice how you feel in this moment. Do you feel a little brighter? Do you feel lighter in your energy? Do you feel like there's more balance on both sides of the body? Just kind of notice whatever's here, whatever's now, whatever you're presently feeling into. Just get like a baseline for that before we move into the 528 hertz. And remember that because we're using these monatomic Andaran crystals and we're working with a time release grid, so it's like taking a time release vitamin when we work the time release grid. So through this toric field that it activates for you, or I should say it's already activated in your toric field, because we always have an ongoing toric field going on, like a tube torus energy. So what it does is it activates the highest and best timeline for you individually, for a timeline of release, for removal, for surrender, but also the highest and best timeline for you to move into the next threshold of energy, the next available, station of awareness or higher frequency that you're ready to inhabit, that you're ready to move into, and with the least amount of resistance for all involved, and without going into any physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual crisis. That's how powerful this time release grid is. I love using it. I will never do any energy healing without it anymore. It's incredible. So what this does is it continues to activate in your field well after this is over here today. So it's going to have a sustained release, just like I mentioned a sustained release in the fork when I struck it before. You're going to have a sustained release of all the yummy healing goodness of this activation well after we're done here today. Okay, so it's going to stay with you. It's going to stay in your field. It's going to keep educating your field, like, hey, this is ready to go. Hey, we're ready to step into this. Hey, we've made room for this now. Okay, so you had some water, you had a deep breath. We're going to do a little more toning with your own voice now, okay? As we move to 528 hertz, remember, this is a nice polishing. It's like a buffer. It's like taking a beautiful sonic chamois and like buffing in, like you just waxed your car and you're buffing in. So it's like a high shine and polish. That's what this fork does. Okay. Because we've done the work, we've done the clearing, we've done some releasing. And now we're just going to buff you up and get you all shiny and polished, beautiful people. Okay. Here we go. Just breathe. Yum, yum, yum. Ooh. And you'll feel it like this kind of, this gossamer light. Feels like gossamer light. Just kind of drifting and laying this beautiful veil of light over your entire being, into your field. But it's soft, it's light, it's pure, it's delicate, it's very feminine. You like that, Rabina? Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Ugh, this is giving me like the nicest like goosebumps. It's just like, ugh. It's like going and getting a massage and like this kind of whisper light fingers, almost like a lymphatic drainage massage where it's not deep tissue, but it's just kind of like a raking of fingertips over your body, but in a very light, very easy motion to get kind of fluids going again, kind of get everything jump started. And that's kind of what this energy does as well. So on this next strike, I invite you to do something with me. Who cares who hears you? Okay. We're going to sound the tone ma, and I want you to notice how clear and strong your intoning is now versus before. Okay? All right, here we go. Ma. Oh, that's nice. Go ahead and do it again if you need to. As many times as you need to. Get all that stuck energy out. I did this the other day with one of my long-term clients, and we were releasing stuff that was just it's stuck energy, and she did some intoning and she scared the crap out of her cat, and the cat just bolted out of the room like like, like it got struck by lightning. Maybe it did, but it was really kind of funny. I felt Kitty is fine, don't worry about Kitty, but it was really, yeah, it was a release that needed to happen, and she felt wonderful after. So for those of you that need that, don't hold back, don't hold back, don't hold back your light. Get that stuck energy out. It wants to get out. All right. And again, focusing on the kind of journey of the wandering nerve, the two branches on either side of the body as we do this next strike. Bring that down from the brainstem, down through the body. Imagine all the dendritic or branches of the nerves of this wandering nerve going to all the organs and tissues and muscles and really feeding the energy through this sweeping, beautiful 528 hertz frequency. Okay, ready? Oh, wow. Bright and strong and clear. Bring that all the way down into the belly. We're going to do just one more, and then we're going to ground you guys. Just breathe. Just breathe. Be here now. All right. So you should all be feeling kind of loosey-goosey, just kind of yummy in a really good way, right? Just kind of loose and light. So just notice, just get a gauge for your body as you're sitting in your chair, kind of Roll your shoulders back, maybe move your head from side to side. Notice if there's any kind of tight or stuck energy still. You can always listen to this again. What I really recommend when you're listening to like a deep sound healing frequency healing, that the energy remains in a sustain, and because I'm using the time release grid here, the energies are going to continue to work. So maybe give it, unless you're dealing with something that's rather acute, give it 2 days. Okay, let the energy continue to build. Your body has its own innate intelligence about processing energy and reorganizing itself in face of that energy. So just give yourself time, and then in 2 days go ahead and listen again. 3 days. But the energy will continue to build and do what it needs to do. All right. So how's everybody feel now? Let me go back to my Zoom. Yeah, lighter and relaxed, chills, in a good way, I hope, Lori. Yeah, and so you might even feel like a little looseness in your lower back. You might want to just put your hands there and kind of just massage your lower back for a second. Put your hands on your belly and just kind of send that loving energy from the hands into the belly, like, yay, I did good by you today. I took care of you today. I love you so much, body. Thanks for loving me so much and taking care of me and being my vessel in this lifetime. I love you. You do so many good things for me, so many good things I don't even have to think about. You just do it because you love me so much. I mean, we just don't love on our bodies enough and as much as we should. And yeah, chilling vibrations to my toes. Okay, good. So let's ground all that. This is just going to take a couple strikes here. We're just going to ground all this back in, just like we grounded you in the beginning. We want to ground in the end. I want you to imagine just bringing sweeping waves of energies with each strike of the fork. You may very subtly hear it, but you'll feel it. Bringing it all the way through the body, all the way down throughout the soles of the feet, into the earth star chakra, and just, sending it down into the layers of the earth as well, sending loving, healing energies and frequencies down into the earth. Thank you, earth, for being, my body that supports me as well. This earthly body that supports you, giving you all beautiful earthly natural resources that are here in abundance. Sending those loving, healing waves into Mama Earth as you send it all the way down into the iron crystalline core. Okay, here we go. And again, this is 93.96 hertz. It's the 12th octave of the Schumann resonance, which is 7.83. So very grounding, very leveling, centering, balancing. Like you're really going to feel present and awake and aware in your body. You're going to walk away from this feeling really in your body. That's why sound healing is so potent and so powerful. Imagine if you're doing this class with me and you get 6 classes like this inside of 2 weeks. You're going to be feeling like you're just on top of the world. Remember, just bringing this in waves through the body, down through the legs, out through the feet. Sending those loving waves down through all the layers of the earth, through dirt and rock and crystal. As you allow the energy, all this good, yummy goodness that you felt here today and is continuing to resonate, send that down into healing waves, right into the iron crystalline core. Okay, one more. Get you guys good and grounded up. Oh, that's nice. Send it all the way down. Right into the heart of Mother Earth. And just sending waves of thanks and appreciation and love. And as you send that down, you'll feel it kind of shoot back up in this beautiful reciprocal energy, grounding waves shooting up from the iron crystalline core and embracing you, holding you, supporting you in your physical being. Now go ahead and have some more water and notice the difference in taste. Oh yeah, baby. So just noticing how you feel. What's going on in your body? Do you notice a difference between when we started an hour ago versus how you feel now? Maybe you feel like you can take, deeper breaths in the chest. Yeah, you just feel maybe more open, lighter in your energy. You're welcome, DC. Hi, Amy. You're welcome. Very relaxing. Okay, great. Great. Yum, yum, yum. So, aftercare. Drink lots of water. Drink lots of water. These sound healing energies are incredibly potent. You felt that. I don't need to tell you that anymore. Your body is going to work to process these energies, to integrate this energy. The more hydrated you are, the more you have high voltage. So let's talk about high voltage for a second. When you're low voltage, you're depressed, you're angry, you're in resentment, you're feeling low vibration energy, you have low voltage. This translates really as low pH, okay? pH, acidity versus alkalinity in the body, has more to do with voltage than anything else. If you have too much acid in the body, meaning you're lower on the pH scale, you're low voltage, okay? So what are you feeding yourself? And nutrition isn't just food. The fuel, the nutrition that you're getting is the kind of thoughts you're willing to think, the ideas you're willing to latch on to, the beliefs and the assumptions and the misperceptions you think that define you. If they are unwholesome to who you are, if they are unloving, unkind to who you are, low voltage, and you're going to have more acidity and lower pH in the body. High voltage. You are optimistic about things. You're not taking a Pollyanna approach and you're not spiritual bypassing, but you remain optimistic. You know that no feeling, no situation is final. If a problem exists, then the solution must too, because we live in a polarized universe where one can't exist without the other. So if there is a problem, that means there is a solution looming, an answer looming. When you do this, you increase voltage in the body. When you remain in a solution-based level of awareness, meaning I might feel like shit right now. I might feel like crap. I might hate the world. I might hate everybody. I might want to choke everybody out. Hey, we all have those moments. But if you stay in that energy, that's one thing. You'll stay in low pH, you'll stay in acidity in the body, and you'll stay in low voltage. But if you're willing to be solution-based and say, okay, I remember what Catherine said, no feeling is final, no situation is final. This is a realm of fluidity. Everything in this reality realm of 3D is impermanent. Nothing is fixed. So if I feel this way today, I bet dollars to donuts I'm not going to feel this way tomorrow or even the next hour. And I can shift with that. I can move with those changes. I'm powerful. In those changes, I can see what's going on and use that contrast as feedback to show me where do I need to make adjustments in my life to be more in flow. Okay? High pH, high voltage. When you're in a high voltage state, your body needs more water because that alkalinity needs to be sustained. So hydrate, drink more water. The water tastes totally different. Thank you. I experienced a lot during the session. I felt a lot going on in my field. The last note put 2 huge spirals in my field. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And so because this is a sustained energy, thanks for that feedback, Ramina. Because there's sustained energy that's can continue in your field for about the next 48 hours or so, be open and willing to receive what comes up. It is feedback. It is your body through its incredible innate intelligence giving you information about what it is experiencing, about what it is sensing. Pay attention to it. If it's telling you it needs a certain level of nutrition, meaning you get a weird craving for leafy greens and you want to eat a bunch of chard or have a green smoothie, do that. Your body needs help in processing this stuff. And so the way it does that is through good fuel, good nutrition. Maybe a theme, a memory comes up. Maybe you have a dream that is, a deep, deep-seated memory or echo of something in your past. What is still there? Why might this be coming up now? How can I be curious and kind of stay in a neutral state about this? Doesn't have to create a meaning around I'm not doing this right or I'm not doing this properly, or I'm flawed, or I'm imperfect. What if it's just feedback saying, hey, there's this other layer here that's ready to go? Where can you be open and neutral and curious about the information that's coming up without attaching a story, a narrative, making faulty inferences about its meaning that aren't actually there? That's the ego mind is falling into old ego mind traps. What's coming up are just echoes. And a lot of times it's just like a final release saying, hey, I'm ready to go now. Are you willing to give me permission to go? Notice what comes up. Be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. Enrich your whole field with loving thoughts about yourself. Tell your body you love it. Every time I'm in the shower, instead of focusing on my belly pooch, I say, hey, little belly pooch, I love you. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You've been there my whole life. You're never going anywhere. So you're a part of me and I love you. Thank you, legs. Thank you, all the varicose veins in my legs. Thank you, my weird broken toe. Thank you, my old lady hands with a lot of liver spots on them. Thank you, body, for getting me through this lifetime. And I notice that difference. When I'm kind to my body, I'm kind to myself. That's not spiritual bypassing. It's not a Pollyanna way of being. It's love. It's love for yourself. And you'll be amazed at the things you can accomplish when you have lots of love for yourself. And if you really want to experience this incredible love for yourself and get more of this good stuff, Tuning the Sonic Anatomy starts on June 12th. It's going to be 3 days the first week, 3 days the second week. You can get all the information with the link I put in here. And if you're on the Zoom call, you're going to get this replay. If you're on my email list, you're going to get this replay tonight. So you'll have it. It's going to be in my YouTube channel. The link, you'll be able to find it in my Linktree link on my profile. If you're on my Catherine Massel page or Catherine Massel Elevated Consciousness Coach page, that Linktree link for Tuning the Sonic Anatomy is there. Get yourself in here. You're going to absolutely love it at a low price point of $297. You can't afford not to do it. If you're going through menopause, get in this program. This sound healing has done incredible things for my menopause symptoms, for my brain fog, for feeling rickety in my body, because I have a lot of, I'm pretty flexible, but I've noticed that I'm a little less flexible and more rickety as I'm going through menopause. Less brain fog, less of the feeling of tightness and tension in my head, sleeplessness, a lot of the things that were dysregulated there because the menopause have gotten better. The skeletal system too. So if you've had broken bones and you still notice that there's like part of the field around the broken bone is not as open and free and flexible as it should be, you're going to want to get in this program. You've got digestive issues. Things are coming up with gut brain health, things like that. You're going to want to get in here. Nervous system. Feeling dysregulated, feeling like you have anxiety all the time and you can't put your finger on why. All of these reasons and more to get into this program. And you'll walk away feeling like this for 2 weeks. And then you'll have all the replays. So if you can't join us live for the calls, you'll have the replays for as long as you like. You can listen to them over and over again. You don't have to attend these calls live. The replays will be up that day that we have a scheduled class. And then we're doing the giveaway for a 528 hertz tuning fork. You got to feel that here and hear it here today. And I'm giving one of those away. It's going to be a fun contest. What we're going to do, I don't know. And then a bonus class to teach you how to continue your sound healing journey on your own. Do sound healing for yourself. How to pick a fork, what the frequencies mean, how to work with the energies and when, how not to maybe use sound healing frequencies. There's some contraindications sometimes. So high value, and you're going to feel wonderful. So come join us. Thanks everyone for being here today. It has been a pleasure to take you on this journey. Go forth and be regulated and balanced in your nervous system and your vagus nerve, and have a great week, everybody. I can't wait to see you in Tuning the Sonic Anatomy. Bye-bye.